there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking more fallout from Kelly Rowland leaving the Today Show due to some dressing room issues. So now Beyonce is now being included in this mess to push a different narrative, right? And I told you guys, if you guys watched my last video on this in its entirety, that there was more to this story, that there was more going on, and that Kelly Rowland had been to the Today Show on several occasions as of late doing co-hosting duties. So nonetheless, now it is coming out and being alleged that Kelly is getting sick of the Beyonce questions on her interviews, on this press run for her upcoming film that is coming out with Tyler Perry, right? And so some of you are thinking, okay, well that's hogwash, that's fake news, blah, 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 blah. But there is truth that Kelly Rowland is getting sick of the Beyonce questions. And this started from Jay-Z's Grammy speech about Beyonce not winning Album of the Year. Next thing you know, Kelly Rowland's the first person to be asked about it in an upcoming interview that she is doing, her initial press for this movie. Then she is being asked multiple times what she thinks of Beyonce's country music, because again, Beyonce thought it was a great idea to drop country music the night of Usher's halftime Super Bowl performance, impeding his Super Bowl halftime music sales that each artist gets a boost from, who was supposedly a close friend of his. And, Kelly Rowland, who's like a sister to Beyonce, is dropping the country music and the hair care, right back to back in the middle of this press run, you guys. So naturally, what's going to happen, there are some people in the media and journalism who still see Kelly Rowland as, unfortunately, Beyonce's sidekick, unfortunately, as, still, a part of Destiny's Child. That's how, they don't want to discuss anything that Kelly has done in between, whether it is music or acting or anything, right? And all of these questions are about Beyonce, and Kelly's getting more and more irritated, right? Because everybody's asking Kelly's thoughts on Beyonce this, Beyonce that, right? And you're saying to yourself, well, aren't these celebrities able to say in advance with these people what they will and will not discuss, what they are and are not willing to talk about? Yes, that's true. But like Cat Williams told you with what happened with that Atlanta radio station, they can give you some things that, hey, I don't want to talk about this. I specifically want to promote this. I want to promote this movie. But they will still work it in if they want to be messy, if they want to get the headlines. So here's the problem, though. For those of you who do not think this has anything to do with Beyonce. Do you know that Kelly's team, with the exception of Larry Rudolph, are all Beyonce's people? Kelly's rep is Beyonce's longtime rep since Destiny's Child. Even Kelly Rowland's husband had worked with the Carters and Rock Nation for several years, right? Prior to them, getting romantically involved. The problem is there's a conflict of interest. There is a conflict of interest in that you are prioritizing people differently, right? So if you're going to manage Beyonce and manage Kelly Rowland, why is it whenever Kelly Rowland has something coming out that Beyonce is dropping stuff randomly? I thought that was her girl. I thought that was her sister. So naturally, since Beyonce does not speak to anybody, literally her mom's doing press for this hair care line that should have just came out with herself, but she wanted the Beehive support. But nonetheless, we still are supposed to just go off of, Tina's word and all this references to rituals. That's a little spooky.
and just buy the hair care products, not, you know, caring about what the ingredients are, not caring about potential damage to your hair. And, you know, if you live in certain humid locations, if that's going to negatively impact you. But my point is this. They'll start off asking Kelly Rowland these questions about Tyler Perry and this movie and all these things. But it quickly pivots to Beyonce in some capacity. Either what Beyonce has currently going on, which is now, of course, the country music songs and the sacred hair care line, right? Because we moved on from Jay-Z now, a Jay-Z speech, right? Because clearly that was a part of the rollout in retrospect. That was a part of the rollout to try to guarantee Beyonce wins Album of the Year for a country album in 2025. So nonetheless, there's a conflict of interest though, people. And it's been that way this entire time. Why hasn't Kelly Rowland had many solos when she was with Destiny's Child? Why is it that she was convinced by Matthew Knowles and others to, after the success of her song with Nelly, Dilemma, and she was coming out with an upcoming solo album, that they told her to pivot in a completely different direction from the music that was going to be successful for her because they didn't want her to outshine Beyonce's debut, you guys. So you guys can say, oh, this is pinning black women against each other. Kelly Rowland is more than Beyonce's sidekick. But here's the thing. If you have hired Beyonce's same people to manage your career, to speak on your behalf, to do all these things, so they're going to have a heads up and a leg up on when any new projects of yours is coming out. For some reason, Beyonce feels that anybody's project now, see, I thought it was just something personal against Rihanna, but now it's just, she's just doing this to anybody, including her own quote-unquote sister, Kelly Rowland. So, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I have not seen any footage yet on whether or not Kelly Rowland attended the LA premiere of Beyonce's Sacred Hair Care line event. But something in the milk isn't clean, people. Something is not going on. Something's not right. I feel like there's something different about the Beyonce and Kelly Rowland relationship. And you'll guys remember her song Dirty Laundry. She was over all this stuff about Beyonce allegedly, right? But I just wonder now if Kelly Rowland is finally waking up that this isn't the business. That she can't have her whole identity be tied to Beyonce when she's trying to promote her own products and her own things that she is coming out. But then on the flip side, Beyonce refuses to give any of these black celebrities a day to do anything. The conversation has to always be about her because she doesn't talk to you guys. She doesn't talk to you guys unless she is at a concert performing in front of you that you paid your hard-earned money for, or she's accepting an award at the Grammys. So again, this notion that everything's on the up and up, that everything is positive, no. There's a clear conflict of interest here that we need to be talking about. Because Kelly Rowland can demand, because I feel like she demanded already, not to ask questions about Beyonce or Destiny's Child or whatever, even though technically she is a part of Destiny's Child. But I feel they're going to do it anyways. Because they deem Kelly Rowland, one of the closest people to Beyonce. Therefore, they want to find out, whatever type of details and things. See, just like the Grammys use Beyonce for clout, for her to come on the show, just for them to snub her in the major award categories, they're doing the same thing in a way to Kelly Rowland. They're using her, they're booking her with all these events because it's Beyonce's person, right? It's Beyonce's rep since Destiny's Child, so she's going to get all the bookings. That's not the issue, but the issue is going to be when she actually has to sit down and do these interviews and answer questions about Beyonce, in which, if you also are managing Beyonce, is a benefit to you. Is it not? Because that wipes out the need to force Beyonce in front of the cameras if she doesn't want to be there, if it's not involving accepting an award or a performance. So you're killing two birds with one stone, but the flip side is Kelly Rowland is suffering. And I don't know whose bright idea it was with the dressing room, narrative. I'm sure, obviously, there's truth to the dressing room not being up to par, because Sherri Shepherd went out of her way to make sure that Kelly Rowland had a nice dressing room when she was on her show. But it seems that it backfired on Kelly Rowland getting canceled. And maybe the Today Show was thinking, oh, since this was unprofessional for her to walk off and not complete her commitment to us, if we get ahead of this and then put out this narrative that she was, this quote unquote angry black woman, we can really, flip this and make it, and we do not have any ownership. It's not our fault at all. But the problem is, you had your own employees not even showing up due to the backlash. Now, Hoda's still trying to, smooth things over and saying that Kelly Rowland can come back anytime to host the show, and that she's been texting with her and trying to, make sure everything's all good. This is a huge problem, you guys, because like I said in my last video, there's been never has there been any negative press about Kelly Rowland or anything about her being a diva or being all these things. But conveniently now, when she has something to promote, that conveniently Beyonce is dropping multiple things around this press run, the conversation is not about Kelly Rowland anymore. Even if you ask one question about Beyonce in these interviews with Kelly Rowland, you are taking away her moment to discuss her movie and any other projects or things that she wants to announce on the platform. And it's not fair. So again, before you guys come in and think, oh, no, that's a reach. Look up who Kelly's old management was before Larry Rudolph, because it used to be her husband. Look at who her rep is, which is Beyonce's rep. Same rep that's been around since the 90s, people. You can't have conflict of interest like this, people, because it ends up sabotaging one of the people. How do I know this? Because look what happened with Rihanna's album Anti. Although she is under her own label, Roc Nation is her management. Although she directly does not deal with Jay-Z, she deals with Jay Brown. There's still that upper hand that the company knows, hey, Rihanna's got an album coming out this date, and Beyonce can be aware of that. She can either drop something or something can be sabotaged that's going to harm Rihanna's release. And if you notice, Rihanna has not put out an album since. You don't think that's a coincidence? Now, she's not going to come out and say that. But I think a big reason why she's not putting out music is because of what happened with the leak of Anti. And since she's so successful, with Fenty Beauty, Savage X Fenty, her, line again with Puma, and whatever this Dior collaboration ad is going to be, she figured, hey, I can make even more money outside of music, but hey, I'm not going to be playing these politic games, especially when she was snubbed at the Grammys for her Anti album that has been her best work to date. She said, screw it. I'm not going to be politicking and doing all these things just to sit here and get, embarrassed when I can make my money in these other ventures. But see, the problem now is, I think what's happening is some people are not accepting that other people can have a seat at the table, that other black female celebrities are killing it in their respective lanes. And the fact that Beyonce now more than ever is dropping all these things around all of these black artists that have, creations they're trying to promote is suspect, is a red flag. And the gag of it all is Beyonce would never do this to Taylor Swift or Adele. Peep that game, right? This would never happen. Beyonce would never just drop her country music album that's coming out at the end of March, the same date that Taylor Swift announced her new album coming out in April. So there's a lot to unpack with this, you guys. But when you get a chance, before you come in the comments thinking, oh, no, this is just wrong, blah, 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 look up Kelly Rowland's team and look up who used to be Kelly Rowland's manager before the current manager, who is Britney Spears' former manager, Larry Rudolph, was in play, and who her current rep is. It's all connected to Beyonce. It's all connected to the Carters, which, if something changed in your relationship or your closeness or what have you recently, you feel a certain type of way now. Now it's a little bit more agitating being asked about this in interviews. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.